1.
9.
Let's go.
So, I weighed myself yesterday.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Or was it 2 days ago? And it was actually at 201.5, which is the lowest number I've seen on the scale in 15 years. I haven't weighed less than 200 pounds. Usually I weigh 205 to 210. I weighed less than 200 pounds since I was a teenager, since like 19. So that being said, I thought to myself, holy shit, I could actually weigh less. Like if I hit 198, I consider that less than 200. Because like 199.9 isn't less than 200. That's you took a piss and didn't have enough water today. You know, so if I hit like 198, I could hit it. So it's like, all right, cool. What can I do what's my body fat percentage? All right, it's like 23.8 or something like that. All right, cool. What can I do here? Ooh, if I cut calories like this for a little, I can totally pull that off. All right, awesome. All right, so this is gonna have for lunch. This is gonna have for breakfast every day. That'd be healthy. Awesome. Now, how do I pull this off for dinner? Don't have dinner and just have ice cream. Boom. Save the calories that I needed, and then I can pull it off. It works. It works.
There, I let my Discord know. I didn't tweet though.
Then I'm gonna hit 198. Is that what you told them?
No.
Oh. All right, bro. I thought you were like cheering me on.
Never.
Rena's not cheering me on. She's being mean. She's like, shut up, fatty.
Listen, Scott.
And nothing.
I'm 215 pounds right now, and I am like 6 inches taller than you.
Well, first of all, you're like an inch and a half taller than me.
That is false.
How tall are you?
6'1".
Okay, you're 2 inches taller. And second of all, how much do you weigh?
220 or 215, not 220.
215? Okay. Yeah, but your body fat percentage is probably lower. You probably have a lot more muscle mass.
I don't know about that. My gut's pretty rotund right now.
Do you have one of those scales that electrocute your feet so you can find out your body fat percentages, or no?
No, I usually just ask somebody to pinch me.
The most scientific method.
It actually is a method, the pinch test.
Yeah,
it's actually more accurate than the electrocution one for body fat.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
One is
Yes,
about
it
the
is.
currents and the other one, people's fat grows on them differently. You use somebody who gets fat in their thigh and somebody who's fat in the head.
They've done studies. The pinch one is more accurate than the electric shock one.
Uh-huh.
And if you want to get really accurate, hop in a bod pod.
Okay, that's accurate. That's because they like weigh you.
It's like weight and
They do your buoyancy. That's the most accurate. It's way more accurate than the it's way more accurate than the electrocution. But well, you're just way better than pinching. We're like, hey, Messi, pinch my ass. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I want to see how fat I am.
I wouldn't even ask.
And then he pinches, and then he's like, you got a fat ass. And I'm like,
big boy.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't float. I sink like a rock.
I also sink, actually. No jokes. And we were both on the swim team, which is hilarious. We're both swimmers, and neither of us can float.
Well, I wasn't a swimmer until college, but I played water polo though, so more difficult, but in the pool nonetheless.
Wow! You throwing shade at swimming?
100%.
You guys hear that? You hear that?
Water polo is
Listen, peaky. All right.
Listen, you know what? Water polo is considered the toughest team sport voted on the world for the last like 6 years.
Sure.
I just Googled it. It's boxing.
Boxing is the most difficult team sport.
Yeah, I searched toughest team sport, and it says degree of difficulty sports ranking number 1 is boxing. Number 2 is ice hockey.
No, these are false.
That's according to ESPN.com.
Well, ESPN doesn't look at Olympic sports, dude.
Oh, Olympic sports.
Why do we care about Olympic sports?
That's what water polo is, I assume.
Yes.
I think lacrosse is harder.
Okay, I found one that looks at Olympic sports.
You get the shit kicked out of you and you don't even get paid.
Number 1 is water polo with 44 points.
There you go.
Team boxing, aka gangbang. Jump for joy.
Number 2 is rugby.
Rugby's an Olympic.
Oh, sorry.
An Olympic sport.
Number 4 is rugby. Number 2 is
AFL.
AFL. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Australian Football
flight-
League.
Oh, that.
Australian rugby. Okay, gotcha.
No, it's Australian Football League. It's like a combination of American football and rugby.
Right. Australian rugby.
Hi, Rena. Would you like to throw a name and towel? What sports did you play in when you were younger?
I don't want to have this conversation. I played video games.
You were a cheerleader, weren't you?
No, thank you. You know
What
what?
about a baton
yeah,
twirler?
I was. Let's go ahead and say yes. to
Color
that.
guard.
Yes, absolutely. I was a cheerleader. Yeah. hmm
That's not a sport.
Cheerleader, color guard, and majorette? Rena, really?
I danced.
You quintessential Texan girl?
I mean, dancing.
Where the fuck do you think I'm from?
Better
No, dude.
dancing.
Not Texas. You're actually from not even Arizona. You grew up where'd you grow up again?
Somewhere else. I'm gonna leave that a mystery.
All right, there you go. Huh.
I'm from Kentucky.
But it's not the South.
Yeah. I know you told me. I just don't remember where.
Dang.
Field hockey,
cheerleader.
softball, basketball.
If only
Those are
I
all
had been
sports.
that cool.
Those are good sports.
Well, hold on. Are you categorizing cheerleader as being cool?
That's the click like thing.
That's just
Huh.
popular.
the stereotypical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Stereotypical preppy.
Yeah.
Every group had its cliques, and every group
Mhm.
was equally cool or uncool. It's just cheerleaders and football players were celebrated by the school, which is kind of nauseating. So, like for instance, my parents
Cryptic, let
literally.
me dream.
Huh.
They're living the dream that after you're 18, they don't get
You
to
guys-
live again. And
You
they
guys
are
didn't
past
have
their prime.
cheerleaders? That's hilarious.
Our
So-
school was tiny, dude. We had
Oh,
nothing. We had,
gotcha.
like nothing.
Gotcha. So the reason why you married Cryptic is he was the only male in the school?
No.
I was gonna make the joke because there was nothing.
Oh.
Because there was like nothing. That's what. Anyway, sorry, cryptic.
So the and my parents actually let me skip on what do they call those days? They're called spirit days or spirit rally days.
Oh, like Spirit Week or whatever.
Yeah, my parents, no jokes. They'd be like, if you want to go to school today, you can. If you want to leave school early, you can. Just let us know. We'll take care of you. We know that these
Yeah.
days aren't educational. And I live in Massachusetts. Like I grew up in Massachusetts where education has been number one in the country for decades. Okay. And even here, they're like, you're not learning those days. They're just, it's literally you watch cheerleaders give presents to football players in an auditorium or outside, depending on the weather. And that was like half
Or
of
under the
school day.
bleachers. What?
Oh, hey, what kind of present is that? I got you herpes. You know?
Yes. Oh.
Yes, sweetheart? Yeah, of course there is in the freezer. And here's cones.
I got yelled at. I'm already getting yelled at in chat. I never said it was that.
Oh.
You guys are reading into something. I just said they gave them presents under the bleachers. I never said what it was.
Rena, my graduating class was over 800 people. So, because the
It's
school...
53?
Yeah.
Cryptic? Can you
There's-
confirm it was 53?
So
That
our
was
school
mine.
was not only huge public school, but it was also a Volk Tech school that was a part of the school system. So the Volk Tech school and the regular school, because you could be inside both programs or in just one of the programs, high school, Volk Tech, or a combo, if you wanted to. We all graduated together because you wanted to make sure you were inclusive to the Volk Tech kids. It wasn't their fault they couldn't read. They just really liked cars.
My
I'm
graduating
kidding.
class,
There's nothing wrong with vocational. Like it's actually blue collar jobs are the backbone of society. So
Oh,
just
hell
kidding.
yeah. Career training schools need to be utilized far more.
I won't lie. If my mom didn't like push me away from that stuff, and I actually was pushed
Trade
into blue
schools.
collar, into trade school, exactly, I probably would have been much happier as an individual working for HVAC than as a manager of a restaurant. I probably would have like lived a happier and more fulfilling life because I actually like doing stuff with my hands. I like building and tinkering and whatnot. But instead, I sit there and like I can run a mean host stand. Like I can flip that burger, like you know. But
You flip that burger.
that's right. I flip it the other way too. Right.
Wow. Switch flipper.
15 years ago, pretty short school, came out 150K.
I
Yeah.
graduated with a class of 400.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I was like I know people that grew up in schools where their graduating class was less than 100, and I'm just like, Did you have friends? And you're like, yeah, like everybody's your friend. I'm like, what?
That means nobody's your friend.
Well, because like when you have a graduating class of so think about that. If the graduating class is let's call it 800, then how big is the junior, sophomore, and freshman year? That means all in all, you're pushing well over 2,000 kids. You're pushing like 2,500 kids. You're gonna find friends in a school of 2,500 kids. If you're the smelly kid, right, that like refuses to shower because you still haven't quite gotten out of middle school, that's okay. There's another kid with no sense of smell and an inhaler that's gonna hang out with you. You know, you're just gonna be stranger than fiction or whatever it's called, friends.
Wow.
That's all.
I was offended by your statement there.
You're gonna be COVID comrades. They'd be like, you're not offended by my smell?
You have offended me with your statement there. I just want you to know.
Why, did you have an inhaler, Tyler?
No, but there are plenty of good people that have asthma that are not considered the outcasts of society.
I didn't say that they were.
That's not what you insinuated.
I said that my one particular example was. My advice for children in school that want to make friends is join programs. That's
Zach
it.
doesn't always try to cancel his own channel, but when he does, he knows exactly where to shoot.
No, jokes aside,
those with asthma apparently.
There's like 33% of our population.
Well, yeah, most of that's because of smoking and air pollution.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not exactly. It's a small demographic. I'm kind of punching up here, you know. So
you like to believe that, don't you?
I do.
Oh, never mind. It makes sense. You are short, so never mind.
5'11".
No, you're not.
You have met me. You know for a fucking fact that I'm 5'11".
You're like 5'4".
5'11", you motherfucker. Messi, who has also met me, knows that I'm taller than him.
Yeah, when you're in your heels.
I did wear boots actually when I was in Florida. I'm almost positive I wore boots there. I think I wore Timbs.
We walked through so much mud.
So well, I was from Florida. Always rains. So
I need to test something.
That would have
Am I getting quieter or louder?
Louder
or quieter?
Louder.
How about now?
Quieter.
That's better.
Is that better? Am I not peaking now?
I mean, you're still occasionally peaking, but whatever. You're on the road. What are you gonna do?
How about now?
You're not at the moment, but laugh.
Yes.
Oh, actually, that didn't peak. That was surprising. All right.
Cool.
Thanks, good thing.
The dial gets twisted and travels.
No biggie. I wasn't too concerned about it.
I was.
No, but anyway, so like the only way that I made friends when I was in high school is I joined like 5 or 6 different clubs, and then I ended up making 2 clubs, which all that requires you to do is have, at least at my school, it required you to have 2 people. So the founder of the club and the co-founder of the club, as well as a teacher advisor. So, woof. So it's pretty easy to do because usually if you're a nerd, usually there's a teacher that likes you. Usually, and they just sign a piece of paper and you're good to go.
Teachers always liked me, but I never was the best student. The only one that didn't like me was my pre-calc teacher because I slept in his class and got the highest grade.
Not even joke. I legit used to also sleep in math class and calculus and whatnot. I would either read R.A. Salvatore books or take naps because math is boring, but not that hard. You know, not that hard when you're practiced in it. Like I am not practiced right now.
Well, not that hard for some people whose brains work in that capacity. Like
Sure. I meant for me, not for everybody. And so like, you can't 2 + 2. You dumb, bro. Like,
I mean, in all honesty, if you can't 2 + 2, you're kind of dumb.
Or young, Tyler. Or young.
I'm talking about if you're an adult.
I mean, my daughter could 2 + 2, but she's 5.5 now. That's good.
Hey, Scott, solve for x. X + 2 = 2.
Ooh, x + 2 = 2. X is 0.
Wow, good job. All right.
Yes. Or x can be an equation that equals 0.
Okay, here's a math question for you. As x approaches 0,
I'm
just kidding.
Go for it. I
don't want to do calculus.
I won't lie. I was actually legit listening for a second.
I was
going to probably can't do this.
Were you going to do a limit?
Yeah, I was going to do a limit. I didn't want to do it.
But it's been a long time since I've had to train, if you will, in math. So
listen, we need to get into this game because things need to happen before next week.
Listen, I do the podcast hour on Fridays so that Rena has enough time to finish eating her salad.
I'm still waiting for
done.
Rena to tweet.
I did.
Ooh, she
finished my salad.
did.
Look at me go.
She did 7 minutes
Do you have
ago.
an alcoholic beverage yet?
Ooh.
Hang on.
There we go. We'll wait for her. Girl gotta get a drink on, and we're not here to stop that.
I can't drink.
How you guys liking the stream so far?
Nobody's asking you. Nobody's asking you to drink, sir.
I don't know. It seemed like I was being peer pressured.
I think you misread the situation, sir.
Okay. Wouldn't be the first time.
Okay.
Last time.
Oh, casually pulls my pants up. I'm kidding. I've got pants on.
Your dad comes downstairs. Hey, Tyler, why don't you have pants on?
Got it.
Oh, Rena, Brittany went and got me the ingredients because we're hosting a fun family thing on Sunday.
You drink Smirnoff ice on your own?
Yeah, I'm
Ugh.
fucked up, okay? Let me have my eyes.
You do your thing. So she went and got me the ingredients to make some margaritas, some house-made margaritas. So she's like, "You're gonna make a margaritas on Sunday." I was like, "All right, cool, no problem." She's like, "I'm gonna pick you up the stuff." I was like, "Cool, no problem." She's like, "So you remember your recipe?" I was like, "Yeah, it's just like tequila, Cointreau, and margarita mix." She goes, "Yeah, I know. Do you remember how to make your margarita mix?" And I was like, "No, I haven't made margarita mix in like 7 years." And she wants me to make it from scratch. And I'm like,
Not that hard.
yeah, it's been, yeah, but I have like a specific, listen, there's a standard that it's going to be held to. And it's the standard of my own recipe. And I don't remember
Gotta
it.
remember
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But Scott, here's the thing.
You drank one too many.
Here's the thing. They're not going to remember it either after they drank a couple.
Yeah, they'll be sober for the first drink, and that's what matters.
Well,
So-
here's the thing. If you can't remember how to make it, I doubt they remember exactly how it tastes.
Yeah, it might be true. I'm going to bank on that. Listen, I was like, just make sure I have sugar, water, and limes. I'm pretty sure I can pull everything else off. I was like, you can get me one of those little bottles of fresh lime juice. You know, it looks like a little lime. Just as like, I can use it as like if I made an oopsie, I can fix it with that. But just get me
Oh, I see. Yeah.
sugar, water, and limes. I'll make it work. And one of the things I distinctly remember.
Add mango.
No, that's not the mix. That's not the classic mix, though. Not everybody likes mango in it.
Well, then people who don't like mango can shut up.
Or what if they're allergic to it and you just killed somebody? Yeah, that's right.
Well,
So
tough
the
luck. It's alcohol.
oh, now who's being exclusive? Ari. One of the big tricks, Rena, is you take the lime and you cut it in half and you put it in the coconut and shake it. No. So so you take the lime, you after you wash it, you cut it in half, and you actually, without squeezing like 2 limes, you actually drop that into your margarita mix the day beforehand, so the flavor of the actual rind gets into the margarita, and it adds like a depth of flavor that's wow, so good.
So you gonna send me some, or are you
And
gonna
I
make
just hear
margaritas,
Scott
or what?
go, blah, blah,
Wow.
Yeah, somebody clip that.
blah, blah, blah.
I told you come to Boston, okay? Hey, guy, you come to Boston.
Hey, you
Oh
come
my
to
We'll have a
Boston.
fucking wicked good time, all right?
What am I gonna do? I
We gonna
get off
talk
the plane
about
and
this
call you.
South.
We're
and
gonna
be
get a
like,
couple of beers.
come pick me up, bitch.
We're
And
gonna
you
get
come and
booed
get me
in
from the airport.
Colorado.
I'll be like, Cryptic is here, and then I'll give the phone to him, and then you'll be like, oh my god, I'm on my way.
Oh, yeah,
And then
that's-
Messi will fly in.
And then-
Cryptic's nearby.
I'll pull into the spot. Cryptic will go to climb like a gentleman into the back seat, and I'm like, no, bro, sit in the front seat. He's like, you sure? And I'm like, yeah, sit in the front seat. She can sit back. And I'm like, okay. He sits and I peel out before he gets the door shut. Later, you know.
And I'm literally on the side of the road like this motherfucker.
And Cryptic's like, hold on, I gotta make a phone call. I'm like, who you calling? Just the cops. Hold on 1 second. Oh,
I think I just got kidnapped.
I'm pretty sure I could take him, officer, but just in case I need backup.
I'm gonna talk to him later. He's gonna be like, listen, we can't
All you need
go.
to do
We
is
can't,
step
like,
on him. He's only
see him.
5'4".
I don't think we can ever meet him. Just too scared. It's a little weird.
Well, Cryptic,
But I was
Rena's just
hoping.
gonna when you guys come to Boston, Rena's gonna buy you one of those donuts. That's all you missed. She's gonna buy you one of those donuts. It's gonna be great. I don't mean Boston cream. Actually, never mind. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Are we supposed to be playing Dungeons and Dragons now, or
Yeah,
thought we
Mr.
were playing
DM,
Minecraft.
what's going on?
I gotta work late. Where did we
My
leave
feet
off last week?
On which
I
side?
gotta turn the volume down. It's so loud.
I don't know. Rena made a wish.
I don't. You know what? We don't need to do the recap.
We
just
figured out
pick up.
stuff
It's
about my
fine.
things. We're heading to Kroll, but we made it. We're talking to Aslan.
That's right. You are going to speak to Kroll. That's right.
I don't remember if
Ah.
we left officially yet, but we talked to Aslan about the supplies needed, and that and of course, the part that irritated me is the lady that had our stuff went to the place that we just were, and we didn't run into each other. So now we still don't have all of our stuff, like the cape, which is essential for getting back down there.
Yeah, you guys kind of swifty places. Oh, by the way, speaking of Aslan, Crypt, when you come up to Boston, if you don't want to fly to BOS, if you want to fly to PBD instead, it's easier for me to pick you guys up from the airport because I live closer to Providence than I do Boston, and I don't have to require a person to be in the passenger seat of my car to skip traffic by going through the HUV lane or HOV lane. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just so you know. Fly to Providence instead. It's not as nice of a town. It's actually kind of a shithole, but that's why nobody's there and it's easy to get to. So,
There was a show on when I was like younger that took place in Rhode Island. I forget what it was called.
Probably Jersey Shore.
No. Scott, I was out of high school by the time Jersey Shore came out.
I don't remember when Jersey Shore was. I just remember it was dumb.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing like clippets of
Name
Snooki.
a reality TV show that isn't dumb, Scott.
Lego Masters.
That's a game show.
Oh. Reality TV show that isn't dumb? Chopped. Fucking love Chopped. Like 10 out of 10. I've probably seen
show.
every. It's reality though. It's reality TV. I categorize that as reality TV, and that is a
Game show.
top tier show. So is that not considered reality
Game
TV? But I thought game shows were a type of reality TV.
No.
Then I don't think I watch any reality TV ever. Okay, cool. Rena, would you like to recap us? You didn't have to do it on Wednesday, so I guess you owe me.
I honestly don't remember what the fuck happened. I blacked out for like half of that because
Drank too much?
No.
Okay, messy.
no.
Messy.
Yeah.
Would you like to recap us? I mean, Tyler already did most of it, but
I don't think we missed anything. So
I know Viking. I mean, I can recap for them.
Please recap because I don't remember shit.
Sure, cool. All right, so the session started off with Rena making you guys some really awesome bits of friendship
shit,
bracelets.
Not that.
Yep. And then she went and chatted with you guys, and it was a nice little chat. You guys, it was very heartwarming and awkward. And then you guys all took the bracelets, and you guys were like, oh, actually, these really do emulate my personality. And she's like, me being master and you being servant, damn straight. And then there was like one of those moments where the sunglasses went on, and it was like, you know, like CSI Miami. Anyways, so then the crew went and had a couple more conversations, discovered some more things, then finally went to Sun's Rest, where you very quickly were able to bump into Aslan. Aslan there, you guys had to travel all the way there by foot. That was annoying. You found out there was like no plains cats or whatever around. It was weird. You talked to Aslan, and he's like, yo, Jesse? Oh, Jesse, that's my girl. Anyways, so Jesse, she ain't here. She outie. And you're like the car? And he's like, nah, bro, but that'd be pretty cool. I'd ride that. And
You literally sound like the guy from Ant-Man right now, and it's bothering me.
the guy from Ant-Man?
Paul Rudd.
No,
No.
not Paul Rudd. The guy that tells the story and talks about irrelevant shit as he's telling the story.
All right. Sorry.
I know. I thought that too, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, oh, that's funny. Okay, go ahead.
So, anyways,
I'm talking about the character, not the actor, and not Paul Rudd's character either. His friend.
Ant-Man.
So, anyways, Bessie, you ruined the joke
Wasp.
now. So, you talked to and Jesse's gone. So, and she took your stuff with it. And you guys are like, ah, snapper. And I think we left with you guys still inside of Sun's Rest in case there was anything of importance that you wanted to do there, because there is still a foundry there and stuff like that. So if there was anything inside Sun's Rest that you cared to do.
What's a foundry?
It's actually a place where they take metals from mines and whatnot, or materials from mines, and they do the smelting to turn it into the different alloys that you want them to be.
Oh, you mean like if Rena had chosen better metal? I'm sorry, Rena, I'm being a dick today.
That's to you two, bro.
Continue.
Oh, continue being a dick?
Not you.
All right, well. So, and that's pretty much where we left off with you guys talking to Aslan. I feel like we actually left with like a very specific thing being said, like almost like a cliffhanger-esque kind of drop-off Levy thing. But
no, we ended
I don't
early
remember.
because we were tired.
Ah, gotcha. There are actually, in Sun's Rest, there are actually a couple of magic items available if you guys care to purchase them, but I don't think you care about any of these things. There's 2 scrolls here. I think Messy's the only one here that can use scrolls to any degree because he's a rogue, no, rogues lost that ability in 5e because it sucks. And there's another magic item that happens to be here as well. If you're looking to purchase items of significance, then
Do
you
they
can
help you
usually
teleport?
get your, no.
No. Do they help you send a message to Jesselyn to get your butt back here?
No, kind of, no. It's actually called the assisting glove. And more or less, it's you speak a command word, and it creates a disembodied floating hand that you can ask to like assist you, and then it like gives you the aid and other action, and it gives you advantage on a check, and after you use it once, it then becomes non-magical.
Can you?
It can last for up to a
combine
minute, so it can be any action that lasts up to a minute.
Can I combine the assist glove with the challenge glove so it isn't ass?
So like if the challenge glove like falls on the ground, it like picks it up and smacks the guy in the face for you.
Yeah.
Well, the assisting glove is supposed to provide advantage for something that you're doing as opposed to disadvantage for something that somebody else is doing. But I kind of almost imagine like the assisting glove kind of like smacking the guy in the face as well, while the challenge glove is being thrown at their chest. The person's like, you know, fuck this. And they come at you. Kind of funny, but no. It actually gives you advantage for 1 minute on one action that you ask it to do. And that could include attacks. So.
I would like to purchase that assisting glove, please.
Yeah, it's actually purchasable. And for you, it's actually not crazy expensive, despite how powerful it sounds. It is actually only 400 gold pieces.
That's half my gold.
Yeah, but it also gives you a full minute of advantage on all one particular dedicated action.
It doesn't require attunement, right?
Nope. It doesn't even require you to wear it. You just have to have it on your person. You just pull it out and be like, assist.
Can I present them with a trade option?
Ooh. I am actually genuinely curious.
I have this magical dust of disappearance.
Dust of disappearance is pretty cool. What's its value?
I don't know.
I gotta Google it. Give me 1 second. Google it. Just Google it.
Scott, just FYI, it's not actually dust of disappearance. We natty one on it.
Oh no.
That's the one we don't know what it is, but I think it's dust of disappearance.
Dude, Dust of Disappearance is worth 3,500 gold pieces.
Well, I think it's dust of disappearance, so I'm gonna try and sell it as dust of disappearance.
I'm actually curious what it is now.
It was like OG very beginning of the campaign.
Oh, I know exactly what it is. That's hilarious. You got to make a diplomacy check to do this trade.
I don't have a diplomacy. Charm.
What?
It's not Pathfinder.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. Or persuade. I was looking at Pathfinder rules. Persuasion, sir. Please and thank you. I'm so sorry. Hey, you want to use a glove of assistance and that? No. You actually have Tyler. You have. Never mind.
I have advantage.
Yeah, because you're playing down. You're actually doing a trade that's in their favor. I just spoke very late.
19.
Are you happy with the 19 or?
I'm happy with my 19.
Yeah, you succeed. So they'll actually switch it for you. You get the glove of what you call it, and they're gonna get the dust of disappearance.
All right, what was that actually? Now that we don't have it anymore?
I can tell you, but you can't say it out loud. Okay? Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Who invented this? Okay.
Good.
Yep.
All right.
Why are you laughing?
It made me happy to finally tell you guys what it was after like IRL almost 2 years.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
was
Wow,
a
we've
long
been
time.
playing this game for a long time.
The fact that I could actually remember what that was is pretty amazing. So assisting glove turns into.
You know, I think that worked out. Even though that item is worth far more than what I got, I feel like this item is
you can't
better than
spoil
mine.
it.
Well, I think anyway. That's all.
All right, so listen, all I have to say is that as you guys are leaving Valorant finally, on your way out, you just give one more like slide the blade between the shoulders and twist to Valorant. It's just gonna make so many of the people happy. So many people are gonna be so happy. They're all gonna be so
what
happy.
Are you talking about?
Nothing.
We helped them not die to the gibbeling mouthers.
Now it's time to kill them all.
So anyways, everything's going great. Hi, Will Graham. You're sexy. We had a debate earlier about who is the greater Canadian. I was unmuted for the debate because I thought you were here, but you abandoned me. So.
Well, I voted for you.
That's actually a fact. He did, in fact, vote for you. I would like to say that everybody else voted against you, and I didn't vote. So I just want to point out that everybody else voted against you, and I didn't vote.
Everyone else that was here, Rena was not in the chair at the moment. Best part is I don't think I was muted.
Rena, you're good now. You're good now. You're good.
Listen, I didn't know there was a vote. Okay, I had no idea. Not a part of that. You saw Will. I was streaming. I was doing other things.
So we're going to. Sorry. So you guys are in Sun's Rest. You're gonna be able to easily find that that kind of transaction, and you're gonna make that trade. And it's actually a really good trade. That they're pretty happy with it. As a matter of fact, where you're gonna make that trade to, Tyler, is actually going to be at the foundry itself. You're going to inform them it's the dust of disappearance. They're going to verify that and realize that it is dust of disappearance, because that's what it is. And they're totally going to use that as part of a component for fabrication of a weapon, shield, or armor. So dust of disappearance can make it so that maybe like a basic weapon is made invisible, so people won't necessarily see it coming. Or maybe armor to make it so that the armor can help them to stealthy pretty decent, or maybe a shield, so on and so forth. Like anything so they have plans of how they're going to try to work this into some sort of material. Totally great. It's awesome. It's the best. I love it.
Oh, Scott, I forgot to message you about something. All right, we'll talk about it later when we take a break or something.
Cool. So why don't we go ahead and you know, the funny part is it's actually way better than Dust of Disappearance, but I'm just like sketching out Patreon to make sure that they are all sketched out over something that otherwise is super beneficial to them. Or I'm lying right now to convince them to use something that's going to be absolutely terrible. So, either way. Rena, Tyler, Messy, your characters are here. You were talking to Aslan. You still also have, what's his name here? Leon Jaeger is here in case you cared to speak to the Chosen. I don't know if you even cared to for any reason. And there's also Isaac Trode was here if you needed to speak to him about anything. But again, I don't believe there was anything you cared to, unless there was something pertaining specifically to the getting yourself back into the ruins beneath the university. I don't think there was any other reason to communicate here. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think so.
Oh, could we ask them to try and find a way in without? That might make it even more unstable.
I mean, depends on what you mean by trying to find a way in. You talking about like grind a hole, like a boring company?
Yeah, like get in, like back through where it collapsed or something, like so it's accessible normally, because we can say we cleared it out. There's nothing left in there. Rena killed all those zombies.
That's true. It's just a matter of the structural integrity of the actual university. If it's done well, if it's done right, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Problem is, the person who's best for that job was, in theory, Jesslyn, because she was the architect, right?
Aslan was gonna mate. He was talking about having hatchlings.
No, that's not what he
That's what he was saying.
Well, he was talking about hatchlings, but he wasn't saying that he wanted to.
No, Aslan
you guys
wanted to mate.
You guys interpreted that way.
Aslan wanted to mate with.
You were like, I don't think that's how reproduction works, and he was like, "What's up, bro?"
No, I thought he was hitting on. I thought Aslan was hitting on my character, and then he was like, "That's you don't lay eggs," and I was like, "Oh."
It was the equivalent of me saying, "Hey, Messi, I like your kicks," and him going, "Scott, I'm not going to have sex with you." And
Yes.
like,
Yes.
Yeah, but why would I
okay.
say that?
Doesn't sound out of context, though. That sounds like a conversation you'd probably have.
That sounds like a normal conversation.
Like you'd say that, and he'd probably say that, and it'd be completely normal. Like,
Yeah, that is true. That is a conversation we would have.
They already had it, in fact.
Which it are you referring to?
That conversation.
Don't tell
yeah,
my
yeah.
wife.
You're not married, Messi.
Okay, well, don't tell her in the future. If I get one.
After Brittany watches this stream, I won't be either. I'm already working on it. Look at that. Look at that.
how long has it been gone?
I know exactly where it is.
You said that last time, and yet we have yet to see it.
I can go get it right now if you'd like.
No, please don't. I want to
Nah, it's fine.
So, funny enough, actually, so if you want to talk about specifically the design of being able to get into there, Tyler, you could speak to, I mean, you spoke to Aslan. He helped you as far as he can at this point. You're welcome to speak to Isaac or Leon and see if either of them can offer you any degree of insight or aid in this matter, but it's up to you if you...
Whoever is the most in charge here, I know Aslan is in charge of the university.
Leon is one of the three chosen, which means that
Okay.
Valorant is one of three rulers. So he is technically the top dog here right now.
Okay. I imagine I will go talk to Leon then.
Sure. You know what I just realized, and nobody told me this entire time? Nobody can see Messi. Not a single person said that Messi's image was covered by...
They did. I said that you already knew whenever they said it. I said, don't worry about it. He knows.
What image is that? Who is that?
That's Neil.
Oh.
You didn't even know who Neil was. Wow, that's pretty rough, dude. Wow.
Listen, I haven't seen Neil.
You didn't do that on purpose?
No, I forgot that was there. That was because we're missing a person.
I straight up thought you did it on purpose, and I was like, is he just going to see how long it's going to take, or what? I
No.
was like, there's no way.
It's funny because what Joyce said in chat is accurate.
What did she say?
He hacks with the camera so much, I just didn't think much of it.
Oh,
Finally, you got a good picture of me.
is it what the fuck? It's another picture of Neil?
What do you mean? Why are you acting so
You're
surprised?
such a bad faker.
No, I'm not even joking.
Faker.
No,
That was layered
yeah,
down.
you
No.
are.
Faker.
No, see,
No,
this should be intentional. Like, hey, Rita, looking good. Hey, girl. Oh, there
That's
you go.
Doxy
Yeah.
from like
Look at
2014.
Look at that. Or this would be like, oh, look at that, Rena. Look at that, Rena. Look at fly. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say fly? Is that okay?
On the wall.
There's a fly buzzing around me right now.
There's a fly buzzing us in the direction of back to the game.
Yes.
Nice.
So, would you would want to go and speak to Leon?
Yes.
You would request to speak with him. He'd be rather busy at the moment with the trying to secure the area because of the recent problem of there being no teleporter. So he'd be willing to meet with you. But one of the things that he says is that you told us when he meets with you, it would have to be a rather brief meeting. He can squeeze in 5, at most 10 minutes, but that is all the time that he can spare.
And I would say that should be more than enough time.
Rena, how do you stream with him as often as you do?
I'm just used to it. Or I come to expect it.
What? Jeez.
All right. So anyways,
Thanks for saying yes in all caps and bold W's. I appreciate the lils.
where is that picture of Rena so I can get rid of it?
Is it the goth one?
Let's talk about that again.
Why? Why do you guys do this to me?
All right.
Wow. Is that? Is that Josh?
There's no fucking way. Are you serious? Oh my god.
That's what he looked like when he was in the military?
Baby Josh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Baby Josh, do 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 do, baby Josh,
Please clip this
do
for
do do,
Rob.
baby Josh, do
So you
do
can come
do
back and
do,
yell
do,
at
baby
I
Josh.
like this.
No, he's gonna come to your house and kick your ass.
I really
Oh.
like the over-the-shoulder look. Josh needs to do that more often.
He does do that.
No, he doesn't. He's
Yes, Mom.
facing the camera.
Hey,
So
Sorry.
yeah. Okay. What
so
time is
Leon
it?
Yeager, you want to go and speak with Leon? Okay.
Hour and 13. I'm
Well, I was
late
late
today.
to be fair. I was late to be fair. I mean, I've actually only been streaming for 41 minutes or recording, sorry, 41 minutes. So I've only been live for that long.
Can't believe
So-
this is going on YouTube.
It is eventually. So Tyler, let's actually bring it in. You have your conversation with Aslan. He arranges it so you guys can spend the evening resting. Leon tells you that he'll gladly meet with you, but you have 2 opportunities to speak with him. Okay. So technically, you can take both opportunities, or you can just take one of the 2, whatever it might be. The first opportunity to speak with him is going to be before sunrise. It's going to be incredibly early after he wakes up and does his morning exercise routine. You're welcome to join him for breakfast. His breakfast takes at most 10 minutes because he likes to just consume his breakfast and get on with his day, right? He enjoys his
I wanna
lunch,
try and
but he has a
join
quick
him for
breakfast.
his morning exercise and have the conversation during the exercise.
You could potentially do that if you would like. And then the next opportunity to speak with him would be after he is done with his after lunch and all that other stuff. As he has this kind of like his cool down period later on in the day where he has time to actually listen to other people speaking that are coming with word that needs to be done specifically with the chosen. But this is inside of a bit of a bit more broad of an audience. It's not meant to be like a personal sort of looking for. It's not discreet, right? There are others that will be around during this kind of a meeting. So they would definitely hear whatever it is you're speaking about, right? But that you would have a little bit more time to speak to him. But you're suggesting you want to go and actually just join him for his morning routine. It's not something he invited you for, so it's not something you could just request. But instead, what you could try to do is request when and where he does his morning routine, and just kind of horn in on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of slither your way in. Yeah, that's actually just going to be, it's pretty simple. You're going to have to make a investigation check to try to investigate when it is that he does these sorts of things.
All right. Anybody want to aid me? Team?
They're all leaving you low and dry.
All right. Well,
Sorry, bro.
it's all right. I did it. I knocked it out of the park.
Yep, you crushed it. Absolutely. You know exactly what path he takes. You know the easiest way to get in there, so on and so forth. So to horn your way in is going to be a relatively easy thing for you to do. That being said, something to note about Leon Yeager is he's 89 years old.
Oh, good to know.
So he's middle-aged. He's almost 90 years old, so he's almost old. Old for Perrin is like 92, 94, somewhere in that range. So, and his birthday's coming up relatively soon, if I remember correctly. So he's almost 90. Either way, so when in the morning you're gonna go in, you're just gonna try to get up super early, just horn your way in on that one, right? Rita and Messi, you guys gonna try to meet for breakfast?
With
I don't
Leon? I'm not gonna meet with Leon.
Wow, rude. Messi?
Sorry.
I imagine if Rita's not going, you're not
sure.
going.
No, I'll go. Unless she tells me not to, in which case I literally can't do anything about it.
No, you do what you
No,
want.
you-
I don't care.
You don't have to
can.
listen to the orders. You just can't forget them.
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh. Are you sure? Okay. I'm gonna go. I'll go hang out with Leon. That's fine.
Rita, is that okay?
He doesn't need my permission.
But you know,
I
just
kinda
just
do,
for the sake,
Steve.
just for the
Do
sake
what
of the
you want.
memes,
I feel like-
is it okay?
Oh my God.
I feel like from now on, it's like,
What?
Mom, can I go hang out with Leon?
Do what you want, child.
The problem is, you say
Leave
do
me
what you
alone.
want, child. But unlike a scenario where like you're saying those words but don't actually mean it, they know the meaning behind those words. So it's one of those things where if like Crypt comes into the room, he's like, "You cool if I just like play video games for a couple of hours before I come? I watch Loki with you." And you're like, "Yeah, you can do whatever you want, babe." But instantly he knows that was not a good question to ask at this point in time. I should have offered to rub her feet while watching Loki right now.
You know we already watched Loki, right?
I am not up to date on Loki. Please don't spoil.
Okay, sir. Loki's
So-
in it. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Fuck. Sorry.
damn it.
I'm sorry.
Shit.
How far behind are you? How much can I spoil?
The whole egg.
I don't think he's seen an
I don't
episode
know.
yet.
I
is what
haven't
he's saying.
seen. I haven't seen like the last episode or the last 2 episodes. I can't remember.
I understand. Okay,
Oh.
gotcha. Okay, cool. So big spoiler when it comes to Loki. It's on Disney Plus only.
Loki's in it. Ah, fuck. I'm so sorry.
What?
So, Tyler, you go in the morning to go and horn your way in with your 26 investigation check. It is very easy for you to be able to do this. Okay. So I imagine you wait until just after he leaves the front gate of the area. And what he likes to do is, as I've described many times beforehand, Sun's Rest is a giant bowl, right? So it's like a giant valley in a mountainous region. What his favorite thing to do is to jog all along the entirety of that valley, but not like on the grassland area. He likes to go about a quarter mile up into, or less than that, maybe like a fifth of a mile up into the actual rocky area and jog that whole perimeter. Now, as much as he likes to do that for his daily exercise and to challenge himself because he's an old man and he's trying to stay in shape, you know how it is when you hit middle age, you just always have to try to prove to yourself that you're still the person that you once were. And so you constantly do stupid things just to tell yourself you still got it.
Thanks, Scott. Quit describing my life and yours.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm 27. So he goes jogging along that border, but he has to bring a bunch of guards with him. So he brings about a dozen guards to make sure that if anything goes sideways, he's not going to be slaughtered. This isn't something that he would generally ask for. This is something that usually he would just be like, who wants to go for a jog? And the others that either A, want the actual challenge, or B, want to kiss up to him, they would choose to go with. But it is actually kind of mandated that they go because he's a leader of the nation. And if something happens to him, that could cause a lot of issues. So a dozen guards always go with him. They're there to protect him, to make sure that nobody can just like slide in and just take advantage of the situation while he's kind of open and exposed. So you're definitely going to slide in and take advantage of the situation while he's open and exposed. It's pretty easy for you to do too. You more or less, I mean, I don't know how you want to go about it. I can almost imagine Ophios, gets up really early in the morning, kind of walks over to the near where the jog begins up in the mountains, and just kind of sits behind a rock and waits till he's jogging by, and then just kind of pops up and jogs alongside of him.
Not that sneaky. I'd be waiting where he normally asks them or whatever, just outside the gate, and just like when they start running, he starts running with them. That way he's at least visible to them before they start.
So you don't want to get just hit with a bunch of blat, 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 blat.
No, I do not want to get hit with a bunch of let's kill this guy that came out of nowhere.
On your left. There you go. Nice read. Did I tell you Brittany's gonna get that tattoo? Did I tell you that story? I'll tell you that story later on. So, anyways, they're not Secret Service if you know about them. They're obvious service. Like if you see the president walking around and you see a bunch of guys wearing like black tuxedo suits with like a very obvious
An
gun
earpiece.
bulge on their hip an earpiece of the wire coming out of it, and a crew cut. They're not Secret Service. They're very obvious service. So, so you're gonna go out there and just more or less stand for where he starts his jog, and just stand there.
Like lean up
'cause
against
you're-
something or thing like that.
Because you're going this route, you're gonna go ahead and roll me a diplomacy check with advantage.
So persuasion with advantage.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for translating.
Double 15s, baby.
You rented that roll. Are you happy with the 15, or is this something you want to modify?
I'm okay with it.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
But you don't even know how much luck you have. Hell, I don't even know how much luck you have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. He stops and looks at you as you kind of like stand there, just giving him a look. He goes to start up his jog, gets about 3 steps in, then slows down, and looks at you and says, "Good morning."
Oh, I plan to jog with you if that's all right.
Didn't we arrange a time?
Yeah, but I need the exercise.
Think you can keep up with an old man?
I hope so.
He looks at the other guards around. The other guards around get their, get this going on. Oh, I'm secret. I'm Secret Service. That's why I'm like this every time the wind blows by. Super secret. Super safe. So you, my apologies, are, what is it? He's standing there, like, kind of like looking at you. The other guards are kind of like rather tense. And he takes a moment to think about the situation. Then he looks over the horizon to see like where the sun is and how it's like the colors are starting to change. The hue of the sky is going from like midnight blue to like the lighter colors. And he then takes a deep breath, exhales, and is like, "Well, I can't waste the time."
I mean, if you're concerned, I'll happily leave my weapons here.
He just no expression. It's not like he's like, "Aw." He says, "There's no concerns," and then he'll start jogging.
And I'll jog with him.
He doesn't say a word. Ball's in your court, there, buddy.
I'm jogging with him.
He doesn't say a word.
He doesn't talk
Ball's
to
in
you.
your court, there, buddy. Do you say anything or no?
All right, I would just simply say, you're aware of what's under here, right?
Just check us out real quick. You guys have the same con. You have a 14 dex and a 10 strength. He has a 10 strength and a 4 and a. You have a 14 dex and a 10 strength. He has a 10 dex and a 14 strength. You guys have the same constitution. It's just really funny that you guys kind of like mirror each other that way. You guys have the same charisma.
That's a strong 90-year-old.
He's much wiser than you, but you're more intelligent than him magically. Otherwise, you'd be way dumber. Okay, cool. I'm just looking at how he compares to how you do. So for the sake of like being able to do the run. So you said that one more time, Tyler?
I said you're aware of all of the ruins under here, correct?
He nods.
Well, I'm happy to inform you that it is clear now. There are no longer threats underneath your city, nation, whatever you want to call it.
He says, for now.
What do you mean for now?
You solved the problem?
Yes.
Looking to make a new one?
What do you mean by that?
Why are you bringing it up?
I'm curious if you would be willing to open up a way back down there.
That answers the question.
So that would be a problem.
You make the claim. The problem is solved. then you wish to open it, which could open new problems. He's speaking broken up like that because it's kind of like between breaths.
Yeah.
Do I have to actually jog in place for you guys to get us into? Do I need to bring this in the other room with the treadmill? See, so we can. Do I want to drag the treadmill in here so we can do this?
Are you saying you don't trust me at my word?
Not what I said.
If it was, I wouldn't blame you.
I trust you believe that to be true.
Regardless, there are resources down there that could help not only me, but your knowledge of the area in which you live.
I have enough knowledge of this area to continue living.
Beyond that, why this place could be sought out by Paradel.
Sounds like a place that should be destroyed then.
Not exactly.
Paradol wants something, they're going to take it. If there's not something for them to take, then they won't come.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, after what I need it for, what you do with it is not my problem.
Why do you need it?
For Aslan to study. I'm sure Aslan would think otherwise.
Why do you need it?
A means to take down Paradol.
There are many ways people have tried. All have failed.
You know of their leadership.
What'd you say?
You know of their leadership.
Better than most.
What's that mean?
Do you know who I am?
Leon Yeager.
Do you know what that means?
No.
In my past life, if you will, I was High Command. Nope. Is it High? Yeah, High Commander Leon Yeager of the Paradol military. I served only 2 people. 3, when the Trumbar deemed my presence worthy.
Is this the guy who trained... What's his name?
Mm-hmm. He's one that trains Cadus. He is the legendary General Leon Yeager.
Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Oh, right. Cadus spoke of you.
How is the boy?
As far as I know, I haven't seen him for a bit, but I hope he's well.
He hasn't really been himself lately.
Ophios doesn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah, neither do I.
You wish to take down Paradel, but you're sloppy. Your tactics are weak, and you have too much collateral damage. Innocents suffer, and others, that while your enemies, suffer needlessly. They are your enemies by circumstance, and not because they want to be. But it doesn't matter if they wield a blade or cover in a barn. They still find themselves feeling the heat of your wrath.
I'm not the man I was.
Prove it. You say words. I judge actions.
Can I roll Loper Knowledge just to check?
Sure, what for?
See if Yeager's a Loper?
You go right ahead. He is 89 years old and he's keeping pace with you. But 89 is like being like a 48-year-old human. You know, I'm going to be sexy at 48. It's only 13 years away.
We have no luck. There you go, Scott. 25.
You have no reason to believe that he is a loper. granted, you didn't cast detect magic or anything like that, but you have no reason to believe he's a loper. Yeah, he's actually aging. He doesn't look young. Like he looks like a parent. It's like he has a much more loper features than a typical parent, but that's because he's almost old. He's at the tail end of middle-aged. Technically, it's 12 years for me, Githane. 12 and 2 months, but you know, I know you're older, so haha.
Dare you
I mean,
present an opportunity?
there's an opportunity every day. But you want something specific. Stop hurting the innocent. I know where your task takes you. To the top. To be frank, you're probably going to die trying. You probably won't succeed. If you did, you'd be doing all of us a favor. That doesn't change the fact you probably will not. But why does every person between here and there need to suffer? Question the bookkeeper. Don't remove their tongue.
Trying to think back of the last thing Ophios did that wasn't killing the innocent.
The long pause.
That's how you meant to phrase it, but that was amazing.
What an obvious thing to say.
Something Green would say. I'm trying to think of the last time Ophios did something that wasn't killing this. Oh boy, okay. Oh god. I would like to take this moment to direct everybody viewing this channel at this time down to the tags section, where you will definitely find an evil characters tag there. Please understand, that was earned and not given.
I mean, Scott, the alignment of Ophios when we made him was...
Yeah, but the party wasn't. And Ophios was just one of 3.
Correct. I made him a certain way, Scott. Let's just say it worked in his favor.
And he was lawful. Lawfully evil could easily come off as not being evil.
That's true.
I love making lawful evil characters that borderline seem good. And then you realize, no, that's not good. That's just authoritarian.
Is authoritarian evil to you, sir?
I think the removal of free will is evil. Would you like to get into this debate right now, Messi? Or do you think
Yes,
that maybe
I would.
we should? Or do you think maybe we should wait till they're not on stream for reasons that we won't discuss? Exactly.
Well, because Tyler's here.
All right.
Ophios will just
Tyler's
continue
sensitive about
running
his freedoms.
Ophios will continue running with him silent for a bit.
Okay. And he will gladly do the silence. He won't break it at all either. He's constant. He honestly, talking as much as he has made him like ruin his like breathing pattern. So it's gonna take him a few minutes to get it back, anyways. Because even though you guys have the same Constitution score, you are younger than him. You can get away with more talking than he can. So you're not just younger. You're like in your prime, right? Like you look at Olympic athletes. Olympic athletes aren't like 50. They're not like 32. I mean, some sports, sure, but usually it's the early 20s. Yeah. Well, yeah, gymnastics would be younger, but yeah, mid 20s. So I should say female gymnastics are younger. Male gymnastics are like late 20s, aren't they? Like 27, 28.
Yep.
So the different skills.
Well, and because development of the predominantly male Yeah, the male versus female development is different.
Yeah, girls hit that puberty young. That sounded super creepy.
That sounded
so
insanely
creepy.
Like,
Oh my God.
That was
Scott
very
sounded-
creepy.
Predator
That sounded
now?
so
Like,
bad.
Bro, what the fuck?
Oh God,
All right.
that sounds so bad.
Okay, here. So you finished up your
Oh my
conversation
God.
with Leon. He says nothing for the rest of the run. I'm the DM now.
You know,
so-
I'm just gonna go down here and die.
yeah,
Thanks.
you go away. Yeah. So anyway,
I would like to point out that Scott is not a creeper.
no.
Oh God.
Instead, he throws people in frozen lakes. Did he come back? Is he kicking me out?
He's back.
I'm here.
Okay.
Just bad at words. That's right. Jesus. I said it, and then I saw Rena's face, and I was like, "Oh no."
What did he say?
What did he say?
Yeah, Tyler. So yeah, I apologize. I imagine your character is legitimately like struggling at the moment.
I mean, he's we'll finish the run before he speaks again.
Okay. So he finishes the run, and like as soon as he gets back to the bottom of the keep, where it is that he, you know, because the last like quarter mile is a walk, not a jog, just to allow himself to cool down. Again, he definitely needs that. He's a bit older. So as soon as he gets back to the base of the keep, there'll be somebody standing there to hand him a towel. He'll throw the first towel over to you and grab the other one that they have, and he's gonna start toweling himself off, and immediately afterwards go into like a mild stretch. You don't want to stretch hard right after a long jog like that, but he'll go into like a wild warm down stretch, and that's gonna go on for maybe like 4 or 5 minutes or so, because it's a very kind of mild stretch, and then he'll go upstairs. You aren't invited at this point because you know the door will clang.
Well, I
Or you
imagine
could fall
he's
through.
showering, and I'd
But-
rather not join him there. So
Oh, well, you know, snake your way in. So you he'll go and clean himself up, and then after
it's
that will be
funny
breakfast. Will be
because-
you and Messi. Yep.
yeah, it's funny because Ophios's head doesn't sweat at all, but his body
Furiously.
does.
So anyways, yeah, you go upstairs, and you'll be able to join for breakfast about not even an hour later. It's like 30 minutes later, because you know this guy showers. He spent more time walking up the stairs because there's a lot of stairs to go back into the keep. It's like your legs are burning, and now you can just walk up multiple flights of stairs. Anyways, so what was I saying? My apologies. So yeah, he's like 30 minutes later because you know he's a quick showerer. He's very militant. He's not one of those 40-minute shower people or even a 15-minute shower people. He's like a 4.5 minute timed. Anyways, so he will join you for breakfast. And when he sits down, I mean, breakfast is served equally for all three of you. So, you know, it's a very hearty breakfast. You know, there's some vegetables for breakfast, eggs for breakfast, and fruit. That's what he's got there. No like bacon, no like pancakes, no muffins or anything like that.
No,
So-
no live chicken,
No live chicken.
no duck,
No duck for breakfast. No.
pigeon.
No poultry for breakfast. Just the egg. Just the oocyte. That's it. Oh.
Is it the shell still on it?
Oh, I mean, depends on how you want it. You want to eat your breakfast, I suppose. You know,
Uncooked, uncracked.
sure.
That's
So,
how snakes eat
if-
eggs.
If that's what Aslan would have suggested beforehand, then he would have given you like you'd have like 4 uncooked, uncracked eggs put in front of you. Messi's character probably has them like properly scrambled, or like a messy scrambled, or like an omelet with like a bunch of vegetables mixed into it, so he doesn't have to eat them
Why would
separate.
I have food?
And-
Why would I have food?
Because it's the proper thing to do.
No.
And then he would have hard boiled eggs, no salt, because he's boring like me. So you guys sit down to breakfast. So he'll walk in, he'll sit down, and he'll say, I'm surprised you joined. Was there anything you wanted to add? He says directly to Ophios, in front of Messi, who didn't know Ophios was doing that or what the hell he's talking about. I should say in front of Yondis.
Yondis say anything in reaction to that? Messy.
Sorry, my cat's yelling at the door. Can you repeat that?
Would your character say anything in reaction to?
No, he would take note, but not be like, what? You know, he'd just be like, oh, okay.
It didn't seem fitting at the time, but the last time I killed somebody, I may have seen them leave this plane.
He doesn't respond. He just continues to enjoy his breakfast and listens.
It spoke to me and asked if I had killed them.
You meet a person.
I mean, something that came out of the body of a person.
How long ago, where was this? He says and takes a mouthful.
He'll look to Yondis to remember that one because it was on the path towards here.
It was on the path towards here the first time when we got ambushed. If I had a time, I mean, I imagine I'd keep time pretty well. So I'd probably tell him the planes between here and somewhere else, and we got ambushed, and it was, you know, a few weeks ago or whatever. I don't know how long ago it was, and it's been too long since we've talked about it, but yeah.
When it comes to geographical, or when it comes to, my apologies, geopolitical borders, were you in Adir or were you in Paradel?
I don't think we were in Adir.
I think we were just outside of Deer.
I think we were close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, chat.
Were we trying to remember?
You guys were escaping Paradel, but I don't think you guys actually know where the physical border is between Paradel and Adir.
No.
There's that one, like, I don't know if that was a town or settlement or wherever we met up with Cadus's army, but
It was after.
not Cadus's
No,
army.
it was before Deer because we think that's why they left us.
Was when we got into Deerian border. That's when the
Yeah, we got
dragon
near the
was
border and
stuck.
into Wyvern territory, and they left us.
Yeah.
So it's probably still in Paradel because they didn't really follow you into Adir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
So you'd want to tell them, I believe it's Paradel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wait till one of you explain however you wish to.
I believe it was still Paradel. There was a wyvern overhead that actually halted the ambush from pursuing us further. And luckily, with some smart actions, he kind of looks at Yondis and kind of chuckles. We were able to scare it off.
Good. For a moment, I was concerned there were problems in Adir again. Takes another bite.
I'll have you know, I wasn't exactly on the same plane as the body when this happened.
I don't understand these matters. These are conversations that you should have with Elliot. But as far as I understand, if you saw someone departing, you had an opportunity to apologize to them for what you've done.
I'm merely saying it gave me perspective.
It's one thing to fire a crossbow from behind the parapets of a castle wall, defending your loved ones inside of it. Your target is blind to you. No, sorry, you are blind to your target. Pull the, Draw the string. Place the bolt. Shoulder the weapon. Pull the trigger. Draw the string. Place the bolt. Shoulder the weapon. Pull the trigger. It's easy. It's an entirely different thing to be on the field of battle and hear the screams of pain and watch the flowing of blood. as those that you're pitted against, for one reason or another, have their lives taken from them before you. I understand that your upbringing suggests that you have to be in a state of mind where you were standing in those parapets, even when in the field of battle, seeing someone's soul leave this world and go to the next. I hope that gave you a new perspective. Hope it lets you know how much pain, how much suffering you've caused, how many people have screamed and cried at your hands. But yet you're still here. You still have a chance to make amends for all of the horrors that you've done and all that have suffered by your actions. At least that's what I believe.
And what amends do I have if not given the chance to make amends for the ones that were killed by Paradel of my kind?
If you're fighting a soldier, you're fighting a symptom.
I'm referring to our tactic of going behind and merely going for the head of the snake. Or not the snake. He would not say the head of the snake.
The head of the snake, and I imagine he actually catches himself because he's so used to like parent vernacular. And he's like, shit! Is that where that phrase came from? Those motherfuckers! I'm gonna...
Yeah. As Rena decided, our plan is to go for the top.
Then do it.
I will.
I don't appreciate assassination. I'm not saying cloak yourself in the shadows, wait till they sleep, and then slip poison into their morning beverage or a knife into their throat. I don't appreciate assassins. It's a coward's way. But avoiding collateral damage to find your way to your target should be done.
If they would fight fair, I would easily challenge them to a duel.
They are going to be the heads of state. It's their place to not fight fair for the benefit of their people.
The benefit of their people in the sense that they utilize those of not their kind to win wars of conquest that they have no right going for.
What do you think is going to happen if you go walking in and, for argument's sake, kill a Tarumbar? What do you think happens next? What do you think is happening in Jovincia as we speak?
You realize my goal is not just to kill them, right?
You didn't answer the question.
I have no clue what's happening in Jovincia other than Paradel's taking it over.
You're thinking of Jovance, but Jovincia is actually a province where you killed the Yavin here.
Oh,
The prince, yeah. So I don't know if you want to change
Well-
your answer.
yeah, I'll simply say, well, they covered up what the plan was.
Allow me to explain briefly. It's called a power vacuum. You created a power vacuum. This means that you remove the head of state and other people must take their place. Other actions must be put forward, but they don't have a very easy or clean line of succession. This causes a lot of infighting. There's a lot of collateral damage, if you will, that comes out of creating a power vacuum. What do you think is going to happen if you defeat somebody who's even greater than a prince? If you defeat a Tarumbar? There will always be collateral damage. So because of that, it is their responsibility to their people and their people's responsibility to them to not allow you to simply walk up and challenge them to a duel and expect them to accept. They'll use all of the assets they have around them, rightfully so, to resolve the situation without them ever having to draw steel. And certainly, they're not going to play into your hand of revealing whatever you believe them to be.
Do you not believe them to be?
That's not what I said. I've seen a dead body myself. Elliot's a brilliant man. If he says that what you believe to be true is true, then I'll believe it.
Believed to be true. It's almost laughable to hear that at this point.
Is it laughable? You have to see the world from more perspectives than just your own, Ophios.
I've lived 2 lifetimes as far as I'm concerned at this point.
He doesn't have anything to say that. He has no idea how long you people live or how long you've personally lived. So he doesn't respond.
Giannis, you want to chime in at all?
So you don't care much for assassins, but you still think poison's the best way to go?
I believe I explicitly said not to use poison.
Right, but assassination is the best way to go.
I believe I explicitly said not to assassinate.
Well, it seems to me that you say to avoid collateral to get there, and then kill something to avoid collateral, and then collateral happens, so collateral seems to be unavoidable.
Of course it's going to be unavoidable. That's why the correct way to go about things is to make sure that certain tasks are done first. I don't expect you to understand this. You've never had to govern before. Short version is, lines of secession need to be prepared in advance. You don't care about the after effects of Paradise, so you're not going to take care of this. And then whoever it is that you look to engage with, and then he looks over to Yondis, challenge them. Openly and fairly before them. Not before their subjects, but them. At least then if you die, you know you did so honorably. And at least if you succeed, you know you did so justly. Really, Snaga? You're popping in now? Pfft, bro, we ain't explaining. By the way, hi, love you, Joey. Good, Tyler.
I think I need you to say that line again, because I think I got confused about the challenge.
Short version is if you're going to hold on, let me think about that for a second. If you're going to lose the fight because you've openly challenged them, if you're going to lose the fight, at least you die honorably because you're opening your challenge. There's no deception. Because you're like, I am here to kill you now. Or if you succeed, at least you know you succeeded in the battle justly, not because you snuck up behind them and stabbed them between the shoulder blades. And Messi's like, I like shoulder blades.
He thinks that's a parallel to how I killed the one dude. Except I threw it instead of stabbing him.
Wait, Leon, I understand what you're saying, but the idea of starting some sort of line of progression for people to take over when we kill rulers is not really something I think we can accomplish.
I don't think it's something that you're going to attempt to engage in. My suggestion is the appropriate heads up to the appropriate people. You listen, you're looking to defeat not just, he looks over your shoulder at one of the people there. His expression changes, like to a bit more serious for a second, even though he's being incredibly serious. He gives them a nod, and then he looks back at you, clears his throat. You're looking to not treat the symptom, but the problem, yes? So if you kill one of these lopers at whatever position, the highest one you can get to, you need to make sure that another loper doesn't take their position, correct? Then you need to discover who it is that is not a loper and inform them of your task beforehand. If they are a true loyalist to Paradise, they will see to it that the correct actions are taken to fulfill that position outside of the loper control. Otherwise, it's a turning wheel and you put another spoke to the ground. Gentlemen, I have a very tight schedule. I didn't even get to finish my breakfast. I'm going to have to see you another time if possible. And he'll stand up. And he'll look down, pick up one of his boiled eggs that he didn't get to finish, and start walking out. Go ahead, Messi.
I was going to stand up and shake his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Be very formal.
He'll shake your hand. He won't be
disrespectful. Let him leave and not say anything.
Ophios would stand up at the same time for him, like, saying goodbye, not shake his hand. But then
sure.
sit back down.
That's fine.
It's like the old-fashioned thing where one person stands up, everybody stands up, and then once they leave, they sit
And we
down.
can
Yeah.
just assume you're slightly
When
in
your
around the table. You're
lieutenant
slightly
leaves,
out around the
yeah.
table. Yeah. And so he'll shake your hand, but when he doesn't see yours come forward, he doesn't reach for it. There's no awkwardness or anything like that. And he'll turn and he'll walk out with the one guard that was inside the room with you guys, leaving just the two of you there. With your breakfast and the leftover of his, if you care to eat it. Messy, honestly, didn't eat anything. So Tyler, if you're really hungry, you can eat everybody's. Rena just comes plopping in, having like her
eggs
hair
here.
all a mess, like she's hungover, and she's just like, "Oh, sweet bacon," and you're like, "That's not bacon."
Oh, it's turkey bacon.
Ophius would quietly say into Yandis's ear, "He certainly sits upon his high and mighty self, doesn't he?"
He's got some morals to him, that's for sure. I think I disagree with most of them, but so I guess it's worth thinking about.
There's one you do agree with, though.
Yeah. I agree that if we were to take out someone as high as a very high ruler, that it will create a power vacuum, and we'll probably have to deal with a rotating door of Lopers, but at least we know there's only a few Lopers in power at the moment, right?
Yes, but I was more so referring to the fact that you would prefer not to kill innocents.
Oh. Well, yeah. It's a given. Does Rena actually come down here and eat eggs, or was that a meme?
No, I think that was the meme.
What
Okay.
is Rena doing
Pooping.
Sending a message and or receiving one. I don't know.
Sending a message right now. So,
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry, it's a Wednesday. I'm sorry.
There we go.
then? Jesus.
It's still
Got it.
reverbing.
Yeah, the
It's gone
reverb
now.
is good.
It like lasts for so long. Oh,
It's a
It
fart
echoes
in an
down a
empty-
chamber.
A big empty room.
I know. Oh. It's like I just bought this place. I'm all by myself. I'm so excited. And
Yeah.
then the real
Yeah,
estate
that in the
agent,
corner.
real estate agent's like standing in the doorway,
With
about to
the
like
keys.
knock, and they're like,
Yeah.
are you like, oh hey, I just got here.
Look, how large is this bathroom? It's just one toilet in the middle of like a 2,000 square foot room. It's all tile, like the walls are
honestly-
tile and everything.
Yeah.
I honestly, like in a movie, want to build a set that literally is just that, just the toilet and
One toilet in the
center
yeah.
of a warehouse.
Is this an art installation or does it work? Oh, it's a bathroom. Oh.
And I
Okay.
want to turn it into an escape room. It's just an empty room with a toilet in the middle.
How do you get out?
Oh, there'd be clues.
All right. So,
You shrink down to the size of a rat and crawl out the pipes.
did you
You
guys
gotta
see?
know how to cast polymorph.
Did you guys see the ad for the Dungeons and Dragons MTG cards that was an escape room?
Or,
Like,
no.
Obviously, I always skip ads, but I won't lie. I watched like whole 4-minute ad. I was like, and I waited until like the last like 3 seconds and press skip ad. Fuck those last 3 seconds. But I watched the whole 4-minute ad. I was like,
Neon's old
oh,
boss. What?
yeah, the oven here.
Oh, the one that was selling slaves.
That was absolutely terrible person. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Obviously, Leon didn't know.
Pog.
Even right now, he might not know.
So he was
Yeah.
told, we didn't tell him. Just so that's clear.
Yeah. But anyways, so did you guys finish your conversation with each other?
Well, I was gonna mention if Rena was here, I was gonna say something to her, but it sounds like she's not here. So
Yeah, that's where we were.
So you awkwardly just sit there and watch Ophios take an egg, crack it slightly, and go.
He doesn't crack it. They swallow them whole and they break in their stomachs, Scott.
ew. That's worse.
Sits there and watch him take eggs and just go.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Do you want mine too? I'm not gonna finish it.
He's like, me gusta huevos.
That's Spanish for eggs. I like eggs.
You are ridiculous. Both of you.
All right.
Ever since Rena killed that undead monster thing,
Baby, yeah.
we have not received any more luck. Everybody's been angry at us.
I think that's
We don't need it.
actually true. Hey, chat, let's keep this going. Give me some DMs dice. That'd be great. Awesome. Dice dice, sorry. So, you guys eventually will bump into Rena, who will kind of be like, "Oh, did you actually have that conversation with you?"
No, Rena was busy sending something. She needs.
Oh, Rena, you're sending. Hi, hey.
I would have done,
Hello.
like I mentioned before, I would have done that previously. So I'd be
Yeah, up
awaiting
at dawn, sort of a thing. Yeah, I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you gonna say?
What did I send already?
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
while he was out jogging, what did you send?
Okay, never mind.
Am I crazy?
I had messaged you and said like I was gonna have her send it before we got
Give
here.
me one moment.
Like so that she could send again today. Is the point?
Hold on, I'm trying to
That
find
or
Rena.
receive something.
Rena, you're like 17 people down in my DM section, so I'm just saying I had to scroll for you. Okay, I'm just saying.
Wow. You can see you're not a priority to him.
And now I'm just looking at like other stuff. So it's
You're
all
looking
like,
at porn, Scott.
well, yeah, it's
Wow.
it's the images Rena sent me. Oh, that's right. You're gonna
Star
say
Wars.
this.
Star Wars nakedness too.
No, ships.
So Rena, you would have sent that. So when you say previous to, that would have been, I assume it's just so you could have like rapid backfire messages. It would have been super early this morning. Would have been the time frame you're talking about,
Sure. Okay,
right? Because
sure.
that's all the same day. You should
Okay.
wait till pre-dawn because at dawn it resets.
Okay,
So
yeah.
at that time, you would actually send him a message while he's sleeping, maybe.
Okay.
What things are happening in Malta? Are you all right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He would respond back to you. Excuse me.
I am a demon now.
Hello,
Damn
I'm
it.
a demon.
Hello, I'm a demon.
There's
Who's my job?
so through the sending stone, he'd respond back to you.
Rita, me so sparkly glowy.
No,
I'm a demon
shut the-
now. Oh,
Stop! Oh, that's the worst one ever. No, don't do that again. Oh, it's
Yeah,
so
you have to do it
bad.
again, Tyler.
No.
Rita, look. Me so sparkly glowy and full of fire.
I can still hear you. Like my headphones are like over here. and I can hear you from here.
Tyler's definitely gonna have to sub in on Star Wars just to play Gungan. Yep. Tyler's like,
Isn't it
can I not?
Canon that only Jar Jar sounds like that, and all the other ones are like,
Like normal sounding.
well,
That's
yeah.
only because
Sort of.
they saw the reviews and they were like, well,
Oh, Raven.
Jar Jar had a hard time learning how to breathe underwater.
Lisa,
So
see, you have a lightsaber now.
The
See,
worst fucking.
he was
character.
drowned a few times and he gets by. He gets by. Don't be an
Oh my
ableist.
God.
You know, like,
There, me see your lightsaber. This is so hard to do in my tonsil blogging app.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
I wonder how Wade would respond to a Gungan being like, "Let me see your lightsaber. Can I hold it?"
Oh, this side is
No.
hot.
Sounds like Kylo.
Malls is bigger. So you where were we? Oh, Rita, you get sorry, I was about to respond, but then the Gungan struck me.
Sorry.
There are many developments taking place right now. The southern border is currently
Epic.
the southern border is a hot zone with war and
Peace.
finding placement for the new arrivals. So he didn't answer your question about how they're doing because it took 25 words to answer your first question.
Okay.
But then about 10 minutes later on, it'll be like sunrise, and you'll be able to respond again.
Well, I mean, he could send the second half of his message now. He probably knows that, right?
He would be aware of how it works, except Arena if she cares to accentuate a point if she wants to wait for him.
She'd wait.
Okay, so
Assuming he'd answer
this
the
is the
second
reason why you don't go joining up with them for breakfast or anything like that, is because he doesn't respond again for literally a few hours. And then he responds back to you saying, "Sorry, was in a meeting."
Sorry, took a shower.
Sorry, was
9 years
busy-
later.
was busy
Have you seen
melting
those
the
memes?
ice wall.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Sorry, I was taking a shower.
Whenever you
fuck.
check a message, you're like, "Fuck, I didn't respond to their last message. It's been like a week." Just respond with "Sorry, was in the shower," and then start
Yeah.
talking about something else. So funny.
I definitely have somebody I didn't respond to since last Thursday. Is that what I should definitely do?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
reply with
yes,
"Sorry, was in the
I was in
shower."
the shower.
You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
I wonder if they think it was funny. They watch TikTok. They might think it's funny. So, anyways, very much won't, or just be confused. I don't know. Anyway, so Rita, they say sorry, was in a meeting. I am doing incredibly well. It seems all my symptoms have stopped. And I have finally found my true potential.
Uh-oh.
It's either a good
So
thing
he's
or
not.
a bad thing.
So he doesn't have eye sickness anymore? Okay.
I don't think so. So I can respond to this one. Okay, yes. So she'll respond back if that's where it ends. And say I guess I gotta like respond to both.
Oh, Ben Gundam style.
Is the border war worse than expected? And then she'll say, I'm incredibly glad to hear that. That's it.
So that message, if you could do me a favor and just DM that to me.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to add on any tags, you're welcome to do so. Just so I can
Hit him
respond
with a
to it.
hashtag smile always.
Add,
No.
Hashtag ad. Hashtag smile always.
Cool.
Hashtag
Hashtag
Messi was
sponsored.
taken.
Dude. Don't take me anywhere.
No, hashtag sponsored. This video is brought to you by your conscience.
Don't listen to Ophios's.
Alright, so let's keep going.
Brought to you by.
Let's keep going. Rita, you go joining up with them. Having said what you said and heard what you heard and did what you did,
Okay.
go joining up with them. So you see the two of them are, they've clearly been up for a long time. Ophios smells
Like eggs.
No, it doesn't.
like eggs.
Weird.
Oh.
Well, you went running and you didn't shower.
He has egg breath.
Gross.
Ew. Oh.
Um,
Morning.
Morning.
You want some eggs? He'll push his plate over to you.
I could eat. She'll sit down.
They're a little cold now.
It's fine.
They don't need to be warm. Ophios says with a mouthful of eggs.
Ugh.
They don't need to be
Yeah,
warm.
yeah, have you ever watched this guy eat eggs before? It's terrifying. listen, Rena, we spoke with Leon briefly this morning, and he offered some insight, but frankly, he seemed pretty disapproving of our task, or at least the way we were going about it.
Which task is that exactly?
Being smart.
Killing the Lopers that are in power in the Daelins, and he said it would create a power vacuum and blah blah blah. We should have a secession lined up and whatnot.
Well, we knew that was a possibility. I mean, that's what's happening now, likely, in Uvincia.
Yep.
Was his concern with just the rated replacement, or more than that?
You do remember this is the one who trained Cadus, right?
Just give you a look like... It won't say anything.
Not just Cadus.
I want to roll an insight on how Rena reacts to the mention of Cadus.
Sure.
Rena was potentially could have gone and trained under him too. If she had only stuck with Kata, she could have had the opportunity.
I'm pretty sure Ophios knows that.
Ophios knew that.
Yeah,
Oh.
but the insight is at the mention of Cadus if I get any more off of her.
You can do. You're welcome to do so. It's gonna be.
Who's Cadus?
Hi.
Her pheromones just start eeping off.
No.
You mentioned Cadus
Oh,
and
wait,
it
I
instantly
get
hits
advantage.
ovulation.
Okay.
Like-
Fuck you.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Alright,
get
that's-
nothing. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. So what you get is she instantly hits ovulation. That's what you get because clearly that's not what happens. But he just assumes it. He's like, oh, it's mating. I understand. She's like, the fuck, bro?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, it's that time for you.
That's
No.
not where I was going about it. That's not what I meant. I guess it is what I meant, but it's not what I meant, if you know what I
Is
mean.
this the season of your kind?
Season. Well, thanks for watching Regicide, everyone.
I'm just gonna assume she ignores whatever you say and turns back to Yondas. Because I'm pretty sure the last
good
thing I
idea.
asked was, what is his concern only with the rate of replacement or something more?
It seems he thinks that there should be morality in death and or assassination. I guess he doesn't, frankly, believe in. So support wasn't very didn't shine through today.
Though I imagine he didn't disagree with the overall goal.
I think he understood where we were coming from, but he suggested to find some other way. Reading between the lines a little bit.
Well, we're still a ways out from
As far
that
as
sort
I'm
of.
concerned, he just disagreed with our tactics entirely, and I may have made things worse with regard to getting access to what is below here.
And what was his suggestion?
He said to find the non-lopers in power and let them know of the ploy so that when the ploy took place, they could take the throne.
An entire
becomes
waste of
available.
time convincing another person to believe what we were saying is not spouting lies when they're on the enemy front.
Yeah,
I'm
I can't
sorry.
think of a single Paradel commander or politician that would be willing to go against the throne to succeed for power. At least not a Loper.
Well, there might be
It'd be
one,
insane.
actually.
This Cadus person?
No.
Leon? I don't think he's in it anymore.
I believe her name is Barbara. Barbara Barnes.
He was just saying that in here?
yeah, because there's like other people around. I don't know if you're just saying that.
I
No,
would
you guys
say
are actually
very
alone
much.
inside this room now, remember?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Who's Barbara Barnes? Sounds like a made-up name.
Renina spent significantly more time talking with her than myself.
Yeah, well, you'll. I don't know if you'll remember, but we didn't exactly do what we were meant to do regarding her.
Okay.
Barnes is commander.
They're home.
Oh, I was just gonna start explaining to Yadis while you left. Yeah, Barnes is a parent commander.
Huh. And we still have contact with her?
No,
Ah.
I don't know how keenly she'd take to.
What about our contacts with Nightingale and the rest of the thing we were raising for that rebellion?
I haven't seen Nightingale in. Actually, wait, I take that back. Hold on.
We saw Nightingale.
We
when
did.
We got into.
I actually
Malta.
Yondis was there. We did go see her. But I can't remember.
Giannis was there.
Pretty sure.
I wasn't there. No,
Was
that
it
was like
Elijah?
the last thing. Yeah, Elijah went into a Malta, and then Giannis came out of a Malta.
But I went with one of them to go and talk to her. And I thought it was Yondis.
Oh, did we go talk to her?
Yeah, we did.
After?
Yeah, it was that.
Maybe
that
it was
room.
Elijah.
Remember, it was that room with the shut the door, and there was like, "Are you guys creeping and listening on the other side?"
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Yondis, but I could be mistaken.
I think I thought it was Yondis too.
I could be mistaken.
I honestly don't know.
Barbara Barnes.
Drazdone Tavern. Yeah, in Drazdone, that's where we were. Cause yeah.
If it was in Drazdone, that definitely was Elijah.
Okay, it makes sense because I think I spoke to her alone because I was like, well, he doesn't know who Nightingale is or whatever.
I remember as Elijah meeting with her when she told us that we should go the other way, and not
That's
the way
when,
that Elijah
yeah.
wanted to go.
So that's the last time we saw her, and I don't remember
okay,
if she
that
mentioned
was
where
Elijah
she'd
for
be.
sure.
Well, there's one more thing that Ophius would add to this. Well, some of those as a part of the rebellion ended up in the same place Rena and I did. The gate.
This tavern?
The gate.
Okay, have you told me you've been to the gate before? I feel
Yeah,
like
we
you haven't.
gave
I feel
you
like
the
I've been
whole
waiting
recap.
on this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. In the recap, that's right. That's right. So yeah, he'd kind of like go quiet and look around and be like, right. I'm assuming they're not around anymore.
At
No,
this
correct.
point, I
Well-
would assume they are dead.
Well, I think Nightingale still would be a good bet. I mean, she had her own network. Maybe she would know those.
I think I still have the bird whistle. I could send her a message, right?
You do have the bird whistle.
Hang on a sec.
Hey, Tyler. Tyler's someone next to you.
It's an assassin.
You're just gonna slip poison on your laptop keyboard.
And then you're gonna lick it up.
What? No,
It's
it's just
cool.
fingers.
The only Lexor you could tweet at her. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I might need to like.
Tweet at Barbara Barnes.
No, Nightingale, because she's a bird. Tweet at her.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's a bird.
Yeah, because it's a, you know. Message
Yeah.
her-
So
and
yeah.
from
So could I
Florida.
send her a message then with the bird whistle, like call pigeon or bird or whatever?
When you call it, actually, when you blow the bird whistle, it literally calls over, like within a minute or so, calls over a bird and it acts as the spell animal messenger, which
sick.
which literally carries a message for you. I think animal messenger also has the limit of 25 words or less.
Nice.
Give me one moment, okay?
Okay.
Can we like write a scroll to put on it and it brings it back or something?
I think it has
Or
a
is it only
25 word
words,
limit
spoken
scroll.
words?
140 characters or less, all right, sir?
Is it?
So then she'd ask, what are we asking of her?
Well, I was just saying we could reach out and see if
Could
We
let
could
her
get in
know of
touch
our
with her
plan or
network. Maybe
something.
she
We need
knows
to meet with
more
her, or-
people who want to secede.
I honestly don't know.
Sorry, what did you say,
Ophius
Tyler?
right now just wants to go and see Kroll.
Right.
I'll send the message to her for now and see if she gets back to us and we can continue on with what we need to do next.
Yeah, maybe we could be with her and talk it out too. She's
You have
kind
two
of
options.
in the air.
Mhm.
You have two options. There's one or the other. You cannot do both. You can either write out a message to give to them, and anybody who has access to that written message may have access to it. So in theory, if somebody else sees the bird, shoots it down, they could take it. Or you could tell them who the message is for, which you would be able to say Nightingale because that's how the whistle works. It could be 25 words or less that will be tweeted into the ear. But it'll only give the message to the description of who you specify. It's just with this situation of Nightingale, you can just say Nightingale and it'll know versus, the dwarf with the graying black beard and the red cloak.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So Nightingale is fine.
Okay.
So it's either a tweeted, spoken 25 words or a handwritten scroll message, whatever you'd like, which could be more, especially if you write in a small font.
And then I'm assuming that something like another animal would come with a response
Yeah,
after.
she'd probably send one back.
She- She's
I'm
back,
assuming
yeah.
it's not instant, so it's probably another cast. Okay.
It's not just that it's not instant. It has to actually physically travel there. So wherever she is,
Gotcha.
it has to travel the whole distance.
That's why I'm saying, like, let's send a message
I
out
gotcha, I
now,
gotcha.
and then yeah. So
Okay.
so
I mean, it came pretty quick, so maybe she's not too far.
No, it just
do you
calls
wanna-
an animal from the wild to come to you
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
because it's magic.
I guess we could. I mean, if you want
There's
to keep
like
it.
a mama bird around with
secure,
a
we
mouthful of
could-
worms about to feed her young, and as she gets to the nest, it just spits out the worms outside of the nest and turns around and flies over. Then all the baby birds die of starvation.
Sorry, baby. See you in a year.
Well, I guess we failed on
Cool.
our mission
Awesome.
of not killing innocents anymore because those innocents sure.
Oh, baby birds aren't
We should
innocent.
failed. Yeah,
These
they eat
are
worms.
these are baby emus. And
don't
Australia
fly?
Australia supports this message. It doesn't say it has to fly over. It says it delivers
Oh
it for
my
you.
God. What? It walks miles.
so what you want me to send the message?
I mean, you blew the whistle. It's
Okay,
unfair.
so I'll tell the bird, Nightingale, we were
January 15th.
we are wondering if it's possible to meet in person.
We're meeting with Nightingale? I thought we were meeting with Barbara Barnes.
No, Nightingale.
But Nightingale.
Oh. All right.
I guess I could tell her where we are, like, or where we're
Yeah,
going
you
to
can
be.
tell her we're in Sun's Rest.
Rest. It's Sun's Rest now, but
Sun's Rest.
we're going to Cursefall, right? Back to Cursefall. Okay. We will.
No, we're not going back to Cursefall.
No, we're going to Kroll,
We're
which
going to
is
Kroll.
just further out.
He's beyond Cursefall, right? I
Yeah.
thought we were
No,
stopping in
it's
Cursefall.
beyond.
No. It's beyond Sun's Rest.
So
So you're actually almost
Oh,
there.
beyond Sun's Rest.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Yeah, we're almost there.
where is that? I'm sorry.
I mean, we can just say Sun's Rest.
Where
I
are
mean,
those
that's,
watchtowers?
we'll probably come back here. We have to come back here to get back to anywhere else we want to go to. So
Well, we're hoping
just say here.
Jesselyn, who has half our stuff, gets back here with our
I just
stuff.
I won't tell her where we're at yet. I'll just say hoping to meet in person soon.
So you're gonna have to start from the beginning because that was very punctuated.
I'm just gonna say Nightingale. We were wondering if it's possible to meet in person
Near.
soon.
Sun's Rest.
Are you going
Near
to
Sun's Rest.
Near Sun's Rest?
Dradstone. That's where. No, that's
Yeah,
where.
near Sun's Rest. That's what she
near
said.
Sun's Rest? That's fine.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Why not Dradstone when we're going to Dradstone?
Because who knows how long it'll take to get there, and we want to come back here anyway.
Well,
Because
that's where we last saw Nightingale, was at Dradstone.
It might take longer than we expect too for her to actually get there anyway. So
yeah.
we'll probably be able to like do our stuff and then come back and meet with her.
Okay.
I mean, she can respond too. So it's fine.
Yeah. She can also say no, like over here, whatever.
It just take a few days for you to get a message. So
Yeah, and that's
the
fine,
message
'cause-
doesn't have to come back here. It finds you.
Mhm.
So which is cool. The big question is, did she know what Sun's Rest was prior?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
Did she?
Sundress is a secret
I
location.
mean, she kind of knows
Kind of
all,
was.
right?
Yes, she's actually Jesus. So anyways, you was there anybody else inside of Sundress you wanted to speak to? Did you want to speak to Ezek about your plans and whatnot after you spoke to Leon and Aslan? I don't know if you wanted to round it off and triangle it off or whatever and speak to Ezek as well.
Not after interaction with Leon.
They're two very different people, but I understand that you'd be a little thrown off by it. They're very different people.
We can always find them later.
Leon is an old man that served in the Paradom that the Paradom military served. You know, Ezek is nothing like that. But
That's fine.
like you
At
said, you
some
can come
point,
back and speak to him
somebody will
later.
Clearly, take
Mhm.
the leadership role around Leon because he's too afraid to do what needs to be done.
Or
So,
he's already done it,
Yeesh.
and that's why he's the leader, Tyler.
Sure.
No, he's a coward.
So you guys are gonna be leaving then, heading out.
yeah.
Skipping out to Boston. Whoa.
I'm actually still really scared that Leon Yeager is a loper.
Oh, it very well may be true. In the meanwhile, we're going to take a quick little break because I have to pee and I'm sure you guys would like one as well. But before we take a quick little break, I would like somebody in chat to roll me a D100 just to see if there's any issues that happen along the trip. I'm trying to decide what's bad. Rena, high, low, middle, what's bad?
Low.
Low is bad? Cool.
This is
Messy.
tradition.
Messy. We're gonna roll with disadvantage. You get to choose the first person to roll, and Tyler, you get to choose the second person.
Okay.
Okay. Who wants to roll?
Do you want to choose Jump for Joy because she got cucked?
No,
Wow. Choose somebody.
I want to know who wants to roll.
Tyler, who would you like to choose, sir?
Okay.
If Will's still here,
Willem Graham. Will N. I think it's Will N. Graham.
I was gonna pick Joy if Messi picked first.
Dude.
But, you know.
No one wants
Do you
to
not want to
roll.
roll? Does no one want to roll? Githane's been helping me in Bloodborne a lot. He helped me beat a boss.
Cool.
I'll
So
let
let
Githane
Githane roll. Okay, Githane and Jump for Joy. Awesome. Those are our rollers. Githane for the memes. Cuck Joy real quick. Go. Oh no, you.
Oh, Githane.
Githane.
Yeah, it's 100. Yep.
It's,
Yeah.
it's 100.
Exclamation
Yes.
point D100.
Exclamation
Yeah.
point D100. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, now you gotta wait
not,
for it.
Not too low. Not
Now
too
you gotta
low.
wait for Joy. Come on, Joy. You can do it.
D100, Joy. Same one you got cooked on last time.
Yeah.
by
Oh,
Steve.
look at that. Both of those rolls are very middling. Very middling rolls. You guys are actually safe. Cool.
Very middling.
All right. We will be right back, everybody. I'm going to pee. I suggest you pee as well. If you want, you can pee with me.
I'm gonna get water.
Oh, sweet. Can we hold hands?
No, but we can hold